Welcome back to Cord Cutting today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including, is PBS going to stop becoming a public broadcaster? We'll tell you what's happening there in the battle between its funding and the federal government. And PBS is making some changes to limit the president's ability to have oversight over PBS and NPR. We'll tell you what's happening there. Roku also made some changes to its guide, probably in preparation for Frndly. They're buying the live TV streaming service Frndly. We'll tell you what's new on Roku and what that means for you. Also, DirecTV's made some changes to its packages, at least how they are marketed on their website. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First though, if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Again, you can always find a link to every story we talk about in the show notes. I really would love to hear your opinion. They're also in the first pinned comment. All right, let's dive into these. Late last week, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CPB, which is the oversight board that overlooks NPR and PBS, announced that they're making some changes. They voted as a board to prevent the president from removing any member from the board without a supermajority vote of the board members with that. With this, President Trump will no longer be able to solely remove anybody from the board that oversees PBS and more. This comes as the Trump administration has been cutting funding for PBS. They want to eliminate the public funding for it. Well, yes, for many stations, it's a small fraction of their overall budget, but for smaller PBS stations, smaller NPR stations and the like, it will definitely have a negative impact because they rely on every penny they can get their hands on. Let's remove Trump from this equation here. Basically, it removes any president's ability to remove somebody from this board. But to get on the board, you must be appointed by the president and approved by the Senate. So there is some question here about if they can go there and now change the rules on this for the president. I almost guarantee this is going to end up in federal court. And it will be very interesting to see how this plays out. I think we're going to see a lot with this. A few things here. If this is successful, if we end PBS funding from the federal government and the president no longer has oversight over the committee or the board that oversees PBS NPR, effectively they're no longer public operations. They're not private organizations run by a private group of people with this. And it does raise questions. If they are able to basically declare they can't be fired, can other agencies? This isn't too far different from the FCC, for example, saying the president can't remove a person, or the FTC, or other organizations. Well, yes, those are much more powerful organizations. They are similarly appointed by the president and regulated and approved by the Senate and regulated there. So, often when new presidents come in, it's very common for this, for them to come in and wipe all these organizations and replace them with their own people. It's very common, and actually I think over the last 20 years has become more common to go even further and deeper into these organizations, removing anybody who was appointed by previous organization or president, cabinets and leadership groups, and putting your own people in place. Keep a close eye on this. Not only is this a big part of television, what will NPR look like and PBS as private organizations, no longer tightly controlled by the federal government. It's probably a reality coming sooner than you may think. Second with this, if these boards can come and say, the president can place us here, but they can't remove us, dramatically changes it and could see a ripple effect across other similar organizations. We'll have to watch and see how that plays out. But for now, PBS and NPR's future is very much in doubt. Like I said, larger PBS stations, NPR stations, they got enough funding from other sources to keep going. There are many small ones, though, which will definitely feel a sharp pain from the loss of that funding. We'll wait and see what happens. All right, next story up. Roku has made an update to its live TV guide. Now, this is the guide that not only gives you access to your cable channels and antenna channels. It's a pretty nice guide with a look ahead and all kinds of details about shows for free from your antenna, but also allows you to integrate streaming. Now they've rolled out a new app icon for it, redefined guide, slight tweaks and alterations to it recently. And much of this seems to be preparing for the launch of Frndly TV. I think we'll start seeing Frndly as an add-on right into the Roku guide. You think about it, you have your antenna for your locals, but for less than $10 a month, you can add in all the Hallmark channels, MeTV Tunes, Reels, and so many others at a really good price. It seems that Roku is preparing for that future, and they expect to close here in the next month or so on its deal to buy Frndly, the live TV streaming service. And I think that's their goal here. They're preparing with these changes very much to make the live guide not just a place for free ad-supported streaming, your antenna, and maybe cable TV if you still use it for that purpose, but also to integrate subscription services directly into it, primarily probably focused on Frndly, their live TV streaming service that they'll soon wholly own with it. Watch that closely, but it'd be interesting. Fire TV and others also allow you to use other subscriptions in their guide, and Roku does allow you to subscribe to many services through the Roku channel. How long do some of them get built into the guide with a better user interface? We'll watch it closely. All right, next up, DirecTV. If you've gone there, now remember, DirecTV Stream is gone. Everything is just called DirecTV. So this is still the streaming version of it. Has made some changes to its homepage to kind of hide some cheaper packages. Previously, you had the entertainment package prominently displayed with 90 channels, and it was the base cheap package of the core packages. Now the Choice Unlimited one, the 160 channel, or Choice, and Choice Unlimited are the ones being promoted. Well, the entertainment package is still there. You just have to really hunt far and wide to find it. And let's be honest, most people won't, but that's what DirecTV wants. They want you to get the slightly more expensive package because it's probably more profitable for them, and they, like most businesses, need everything they can get their hands on. But if you are thinking of getting DirecTV or DirecTV Stream and you're wondering where's the cheaper entertainment package you may have seen in the past, it's not gone. It's just kind of hidden inside all the menus. So keep scrolling, keep going into the menu guide with that, and you'll find it before you know. All right, next up, the FCC has approved Verizon's merger with Frontier. Let's be honest, this is a purchase. We talked about this with Spectrum buying Cox Cable TV. They call them mergers. It allows you to not have all the cash on hand and do stuff with stocks and other things. With this, Verizon's buying Frontier basically. Let's just be honest, it's what's happening for $20 billion. That's what the deal is valued at. And also, to get the approval from the FCC, Verizon has ended its DEI programs. We'll just leave that there, just FYI, that was part of the deal. With this, though, it's interesting because Frontier and others, they've worked closely in the past. This helps Verizon expand its footprint into more areas with this. Again, as always with these, there's still many regulatory hurdles to go before this becomes final. If you're a Verizon Fios customer or a Frontier customer, no immediate changes to what you're seeing. Everything will continue for the foreseeable future. You have to wait until after everything fully closes and control takes over before you start seeing some changes. Really probably start with some differences in billing where you send your money or how you log into your account, for example. Again, let me be clear because I get these all the time. No immediate change from this deal, but it's coming. This comes as a continuing consolidation in the market. Let's be honest, Verizon and Frontier don't really compete. They're in separate markets. Verizon wants to expand. Same with Spectrum and Cox. They want to expand their market, so they're merging. I suspect we'll see many more mergers like this as more internet options dilute the number of customers out there and companies desperately try to grow by merging. Will that work? I don't know. iHeartRadio, formerly Clear Channel, did that, and to grow the radio empire as radio stations shrunk. It did help them stave off a slow and steady decline there. But I think this is a band-aid on a long-term problem here. The reality is most people don't need a gig or higher internet speed. And when companies are really pushing that, a lot of them are more than happy to go to cheaper options like 5G home internet, fiber, slower internet plans, and more that aren't nearly as profitable. To offset that, Verizon, Charter Communications, Spectrum TV, and others are looking at mergers, acquisitions, and more to grow their footprint. Well, it may be a smaller slice, but if they grow the pie, they still get the same amount of money. I think that's what they're thinking with it. So we'll keep an eye on it. All right, last story up of the day. Today in TV history, this week, 31 years ago, actually very late last week from when I'm posting this, Bob Ross's The Joy of Painting aired its final episode. May 17th, 1994, the happy little trees and all that came to an end as Bob Ross aired his final episode. Joy of Painting premiered in 1983 and January 11th on PBS, ran for 11 years with 403 episodes, over 31 seasons. Now, again, not all seasons. These seasons are different than what you see on TV or normal TV. They're smaller seasons. Former Air Force sergeant discovered his passion for painting while stationed in Alaska. Funny story about that. Saw a YouTuber post. His parents have one of the paintings that he, also an Air Force person, bought at an art fair there, apparently from Bob Ross, one of his very earliest paintings. His parents still have it hanging in their house. But while stationed out there in Alaska, he was inspired by the rugged terrain of Alaska. If you look at his paintings, you see a lot of influence from there. And that led him to the love of painting and eventually the joy of painting, which we all love today. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you all again tomorrow for another video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. A lot of interesting things happening. Fortunately, you can't escape politics today, even in television, because it's worming its way in there. But we're going to do our best to give you as fair coverage as possible with it. There's definitely going to be a lot of legal challenges to the future of PBS and NPR. So their future is very much in doubt, and at least if it's going to continue to be a public broadcaster. Well, that's it for today. I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.